A life-changing night. David Carter was just an ordinary man struggling to make ends meet. A night shift worker at a small diner, he lived paycheck to paycheck, dreaming of a better life. But little did he know that one stormy night would change everything. It was past midnight when David took his usual shortcut home, a quiet road beside the river. The storm had turned the river into a raging torrent, and the wind howled through the trees. As he walked, a faint, desperate barking cut through the sound of the rain. He stopped, his heart pounding. He scanned the dark water and saw a small, white dog struggling against the strong currents. Its tiny body was barely above water, and its eyes were filled with terror. Without a second thought, David dropped his bag and dove into the freezing river. The cold water stole his breath, but he pushed forward, battling the current. The dog was getting pulled under, but with one final desperate stroke, David grabbed it. Gasping for air, he fought against the current, using all his strength to swim back to shore. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he dragged himself and the dog onto solid ground. He lay there, shivering and exhausted, as the dog licked his face, whining softly. David carried the dog home, dried it off, and fed it some leftover food. The little creature curled up beside him, as if thanking him for saving its life. The next morning, David took the dog to a nearby vet to check for a microchip. He was shocked when the vet's eyes widened. "Vet, astonished, this dog belongs to Charles Whitmore, the billionaire." David's heart skipped a beat. Charles Whitmore was one of the richest men in the country, a powerful businessman known for his generosity but also his reclusive nature. Within an hour, David was in a luxurious mansion, standing before the billionaire himself. An elderly man with sharp eyes and a kind smile, Charles Whitmore looked at David with deep gratitude. "Charles Whitmore, you saved my dog, Maximum. He's not just a pet, he's the last memory of my late wife. I searched for him all night. I can't thank you enough." David smiled, feeling warmth in his heart. "Anyone would have done the same, sir." Charles chuckled. "No, not everyone would risk their life for a dog in a raging river." He paused, then looked at David seriously. "Tell me, son, what do you do for a living?" David hesitated. "I work at a diner, but I've always wanted to start my own business." Charles leaned back and nodded thoughtfully. Then, to David's complete shock, he pulled out a checkbook. "Charles, consider this my way of saying thank you." David looked down and gasped. It was a check for $1 million. His hands shook as he tried to speak. "Sir, I can't accept this." Charles, smiling, "You can, and you will. Not just as a reward, but as an investment. You risked your life for something priceless to me. Now, use this to build the life you've always dreamed of." A new beginning. David walked out of the mansion in shock. Overnight, his life had changed. He used the money wisely, opening his own restaurant, fulfilling his dream. The news of his incredible act spread like wildfire, making him a local hero, and through it all, the little white dog, Max, remained by his side, forever a reminder that sometimes, one selfless act can change your destiny in ways you never imagined. Moral of the story: good deeds come back in the most unexpected ways. A single moment of kindness can change a life forever.